Friday night. Do you know what that means? Comic review night for the previous week. So I am reviewing my pickups from March 27th, 2019. It was only 6 titles with like 16 different books, but 6 titles. So this shouldn't be too super long. Sorry, let's get this out of the way here. And let's get started. First on the list, going from lowest to highest, would be Heroes in Crisis number 7. See that right there? I'm trying to do it without the glare. That's pretty much what I'm thinking. This book is set for 9 issues. This is 7 out of 9. They could have done it in 3. Possibly 4, but at least 3. They're on 7 now. He's just dragging this out. I mean, it's just... Ugh, I'm not impressed. And the only reason I'm going to get the rest of them is for the collection's sake. The art looks good, but it just seems to be jumping around all over the place. They're putting stuff in there. It's like, what does this have to do with things? This whole issue revolves around Blue Beetle, Batgirl, Booster Gold, and Harlequin. Maybe a little bit about the Wally West, who I thought was dead. Excuse me. Very little of it had to do with the actual story of who killed, who the murderer was. And it's like, okay, whatever. So I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. Shazam number 4. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about this. Gonna give it a few more issues. See what's going on. They had a nice little setup at the cliffhanger, which could mean things are gonna get a little bit more interesting here. I'm gonna at least take it to issue 6 and see what's going on. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. Let's see. Outcast number 40. I really like Robert Kirkman's stuff. This is, you've got the different story angles still working towards a climax. Things have been building for a little bit. You have new characters being brought in, new stuff being introduced. I'm digging it. I really like it. I'm going to give this a 3.75 out of 5. Hardcore, number 4. I know this is a miniseries. I don't know how many of it's going to be. I'm thinking possibly 6 issues. Maybe 5, possibly 6. Really interesting concept. Really well done. Get the back issues or just wait for a trade paperback. But if you like action, political intrigue, espionage, stuff like that, science fiction type stuff, this is it. I'm going to give that a 3.75. Bone Parish, number 8. still just an exceptional story. Cullen Bunn is knocking it out of the park with this one. Just, every issue is well done, brings more interesting aspects to the story, moves it along at a nice pace. It doesn't jump around, jump in time too much, doesn't go over previous stuff. It's not redundant. It's wow. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5 and recommend that if you haven't been getting this and you like Cullen Bunn, what's wrong with you? And the last one for the week, Detective Comics number 1000. We have all sorts of stories in here written by the big people: Jeff Johns, Michael Bendis, all sorts of other people. But there are two stories that I really liked. One of them was Return to Crime Alley. I forget who wrote that, but it is a story about the anniversary of the night that Batman's parents were killed. And there's an older woman who knew, Bruce Wayne and Batman are the same person, and she's at Crime Alley when Batman returns, and they have a discussion. It seems like it's a familiar argument that they have, a reoccurring argument over the years, where she's saying that he's not making good use of his life, that he could have been taking the drive that he used to that he's using to stop crime to help improve other people's lives in other ways, and that she's disappointed in the violence that he's used. And while they're having this argument, some people show up and attempt to rob her, and he fights them off as she kind of continues with her side of the argument, and he, does his really good story. And then the best story of it is the Kevin Smith story, where he goes to a secondhand store and winds up buying the gun that killed his parents. And there's a discussion between you see him actually getting the gun, but then there's a discussion between Bruce Wayne and Alfred over the point of buying that gun. And Alfred is not too happy about it. So why are you doing this? And it's very well done. I really liked it. And of course, Lemire, who was that? The current writer of Detective Comics, does a story in there which introduces the Arkham Batman in there, which I guess everybody knew already. But there was a couple of stories in here that weren't good, like the Bendis one I wasn't too fond of, and a couple other ones. But overall, this was an exceptional book. Well worth the money that I paid for each and every one of them. And I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. And okay, that's it for this week. Let me know what you got. Let me know if you agree or disagree with some of the ratings that I gave. And talk to you later. Bye.